Broken video games are becoming the norm. Let me know how you feel in the comments below, but first, my opinion. I'm Tarmack and this is Feature Creep. I need to preface this by saying I'm all for early access for indie dev titles. The concept of letting people buy in before the game is released is similar in many ways to Kickstarter projects and lets enthusiastic gamers feel like they're part of the process. That whole idea is great. Keep it up, indies. However, I wanted to talk about the proliferation of this when coming from major labels. Battlefield 4 is the largest recent example of consumers being shafted by forced release dates. Electronic Arts had to halt project development for an all-hands-on-deck scrum of Battlefield because frankly it was broken, and still is. Sure, it's better than it was on day one, but it's not yet working 100%. This is a problem. Somewhere over the last 10 years, we've been conditioned to expect a day one patch, and it's not without its own merits. Game development halts about a month before a game is released to the public. The game goes gold, and then it's off to the manufacturer for printing the discs, packing the boxes, and shipping to retailers so that everyone has their copies ready to go for the release date. The dev teams often take a bit of a vacation after release, but during that month, it's still crunch time, sorting out bugs and dealing with the lesser issues. With online connectivity being normal for most gamers, the patch that is ready on release gives the developer that one extra month of time to sort out problems. Now, publishers mandating release dates is nothing new. Developers are constantly having to remove features and streamline their process in order to hit those targets and release on time. Often this will result in a less than ideal game experience, and even then, companies like Blizzard with a when it's done attitude seem to pump out content that has release date issues. But along the way, we've come to expect that this is normal and okay. Frankly, it's not. It's not okay when you buy a console as a gift, you have to make sure to open the box and get that giant update done before repackaging it so they can have their Christmas Day fun with a 30-minute patch job. It's not okay to buy a game on its release date using basic common hardware and have it simply not work. In no other industry is this acceptable, the idea of purchasing incomplete products, not even other aspects of software development. They're releasing games that they can just fix later, but by then we've already ponied up the money. And none of that touches on the idea of paying to beta test games. Beta testing used to be something that was a feather in the cap. You got a beta key to a game, and you got to be the first of your friends to try it out. But you had an obligation to get those bug reports in. Filing those reports was how you would try and increase your chances of getting that next game beta invite, because your success rate as a beta tester impacted your future chances in many cases. But now, you just pay your way in. Whether by founders packs or pre-orders, we've been sold the idea of paying to play an even less complete experience than the incomplete one we're already going to get on release, with all of the coming problems. Now you're entitled to the product because you've paid for it. I'd be willing to bet that the number of reports per tester has dropped significantly since that entitlement entered the process, and that doesn't even touch on day one DLC, or as has started to happen, purchasable DLC for games that haven't even been released yet. It's a problem, but not one that I see going away anytime soon. For some reason, the game community likes to justify to itself that the idea of buying early is a great thing, and yet you would expect with such a high volume of paid-in beta testers that we'd get a working game at release. This is confirmation bias at its finest. So, how do you feel about the idea of incomplete products? Are day one patches okay? Or should we see more resistance from consumers when stuff be broke? Drop me a line in the comments below and hit up that subscribe button if you haven't already to keep up with the Feature Creep episodes. That's all I have to say. Tarmack out.